Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be drawing with a pen. Yeah, no pencil sketching, no nothing, just a pen. Why just a pen? I do not know. I did it in the car earlier and it was kind of fun. Here's what I did in the car earlier, just so I can show, and I thought it was kind of fun, so we're going to be doing the same thing, except on a bigger piece of paper, because I still want to do it. So we're going to be starting with the handle on this, what's going to be just like a dagger. And well, since we're doing a pen, if we have mistakes, that sucks. You can't undo your mistakes with a pen, which is kind of why I like the pen. I kind of like having gotta deal with whatever mistakes you made, because I think it can make things look even better. I also just kind of like the look of pens, but whatever. Alright, so I am just making kind of a dagger. Might end up being like this, might look like it's supposed to be a sword, but we're gonna just make a dagger. Make a square here for, the thingy. There we go. I don't remember what this is called. I know it's a pommel on a sword, but I don't know if it's different for a dagger. Also, I didn't mean to make that like that, but that's part of the reason we like this. The inability to undo is quite nice. Alright. And then we'll add some right here, and some right there. And we'll darken this a lot. Kind of looks like a mess. That's fine. We'll darken that too. Whatever. Could have done that a little bit differently. We'll go ahead and just do the weapon right here, or the blade part right here. Now we're going to want to go like this and like this. Right. I'm hoping this is going to look good. Can't guarantee it, but, can't guarantee anything, so. Should look decent-ish. Alright. Now, let's go ahead and get right there. Yeah, that looks good. Then we'll go ahead and raise it out here for the blade part. And then we'll curve the blade in. Maybe not that much, but we'll curve it in. And go ahead and get that there. And we'll go ahead and just put the tip of the blade right here. There we go. Perfect. Looks decent. And I should have connected these two things right here. This little diamond shape I was trying to put in the middle. And I curved that on accident. That was a whoopsies. Didn't mean to do that. I can try to undo it, but I can't really undo it, Pen. Definitely made the blade too small. Still think it looks decent overall. Should have added some chips into the blade. I'm much better at drawing destroyed weapons destroyed weapons over non-destroyed weapons. So, let's try doing that next time. Or, yeah, the next one that we draw. Let's try making it a little destroyed. Because all of these ones are destroyed, except for that one, and that's the one that turned out bad. Well, it's not bad, it's just didn't like it as much as the other ones. Now, hold on, let me pull up a picture of just swords. Just, give me 1 second, Rooney. I could pause the video, but now, we'll go ahead and use... Sure, those are some fantasy swords, but whatever, we can take a fantasy, and so were those ones. Alright, we are going to, yet again, want to start with the handle, because I do just like starting with the handle. Because, well, if you start with the handle, you can build off of everything else. This one's going to be a little bit small, but whatever. Now do what I usually always do for the handle. I don't usually do this, like, little weird wrapping. I usually do a much cleaner wrapping. Which I actually like the weirder wrapping. It's just easier to do this. So I just do it. That's about it. But, yeah. Alright, we'll go ahead and get that. Are we going to do a pommel? It doesn't have one. We'll go ahead and just add a little bit of solid bit to the bottom. We'll focus on coloring and all that shit after. Now, let's go ahead and get part of the blade right there. And then it covers the hand a bit. Goes like that. Alright. There we go. Now where's this part of the blade gonna go? Right there. And up. Then let's go ahead and give it a little straight, a little notch in it. We'll go ahead and sort of do the same thing. Do another little notch in it. And is that gonna be good? Yeah, I wish I would have made that notch a little bigger, but you know, that should be good. Now let's try to keep this blade straight. We are kind of curving it a little bit. That's a whoopsie on my end, but you know, what are you gonna do? Curve the tip. I curved it a little too much. And we were supposed to break the blade, I just remembered. But it's pen, we can't erase, so what will we do with the blade? How will we break it? We can shatter bits right here. Just bits broken off of the sword. As if the tip is well, but everything else is kind of shattered, which this is not how a blade would really break. But I mean, this isn't exactly how a blade would really break on this one either, but you know, whatever. You know, whatever kind of just looks cool is all that really matters. As long as it looks cool, I don't care too much. Add some little itty bitty cracks, you know, in the spots that looking like it's gonna break. Now, let's add some detail to said blade. There we go. We would add part all the way up to here. There we go. And then we'd probably also want to add some little... I don't know how I feel about those, but we might as well still add them. Alright, yep. Alright, now let's go ahead and shade this in. Shade it in, shade it in, shade it in, real nice. Then we're going to shade this part too. Because, well, I can. Which I'm still shading, like, hatching with a pen, which isn't exactly what you need to do. I'm just still kind of doing it because, well, it's kind of what I'm used to. You don't need to shade like this with a pen. I mean, maybe this is the right way to shade with a pen. I guess I don't know. I don't know how to shade with a pen, but, you know, whatever. I didn't mean to do that, but whatever. I accidentally make this handle way darker than I mean to. Now we're going to need to add the broken bit of the blade. Now, what would be broken off of this blade, you may ask? More fucking blade, dumbass. Alright. We'll add this part. That would be on the blade. We get the parts of the blade. We match it kind of up. And we'll go like that. Alright. And we match that up with cracks, or we do some cracks on this too. And we're going to sort of make some cracks right there. And we'll go like this. That would go right there. Place that on there. Then we got this big chunk right here that's missing, which we'll go ahead and set right here. Like that. And then big opening. Bam. Got all that shit. And then it kind of just is fine right there. But this part, I kind of wanted to add little razor bits right here, but I forgot. I mean, I'm adding them now, but they're not perfect or anything. Yeah, this is definitely not perfect because it's not exactly like how this looks, but you know, whatever. I think it looks good enough. There we go. There we got ourselves a blade. I think this one's definitely better than this one. How long is this video? It doesn't really matter because I'm going to fill this entire page with blades. I just want to know when I need to stop recording. Should we try a picture of an actual blade? And there is an actual blade right here. This is a non-fantasy blade. Alright, alright. Doing a non-fantasy blade, whatever. Let's just draw a blade. I can come up with a blade. Circle bit, circle bit, circle bit, circle bit. Yeah, let's go. We got some circle bits on our blade. And we're gonna have one of these. And this one's probably gonna look the shittiest out of all of them. Because of I'm not looking at a reference for this one. I'm just gonna go full imagination on this. Let's think. Could I draw a blade from one of my characters? Yeah, what if I go on the lightning one? Yeah, the lightning blade. But the lightning blade has much more lightning-esque part on this than this. And it's actually evenly spaced, but you know, whatever. Alright, this is a little hard to draw at a weird angle, but you know, whatever. Alright. This blade would also be a longsword, but I just kind of don't exactly want to do that at the moment. Because it was just kind of annoying to draw at that angle. Also, this is supposed to be like how some swords have a little bit that goes up on top of the blade part. Like they got a little part that pinches the blade on top. Would be this. It would be more lightning bolt shaped, but I was just having a little bit of trouble making it look lightning bolt shaped. It would also have one of these things in the middle still. Alright, let's darken the lightning. Let's get it all nice and dark. The handle would probably be weirdly shaped too, and it would have a lightning bolt shape at the bottom. Which this sword is actually made for a character that uses lightning, but that character is not going to have the sword. It is made for that character. I designed this character for a character that uses lightning. But that character that I am talking about is going to actually use a... I'm going to try to draw some lightning around the sword. Yeah, I don't really know if this looks like lightning. But, you know, whatever. It's perfect. It just looks like scribbles. Whatever. Whatever. That character that would be using the sword is going to use a straight sword. if you've seen Naruto, Sasuke's grass cutter that he uses in Shippuden, it's like that. It's like that. It would have lightning decals on it and shit like that, but it is just a straight sword. You may say, why? This one, a sword like that would be much cooler. You know, that's kind of a bad example of it. But a sword like that would be much cooler for a lightning character. Well, because said character was created by me asking a bunch of questions to a friend, and, well, he created the character. And when I asked him for what weapons he would want, that was what he said. So, I mean, gonna make that character with the weapons he said. I'll make a different lightning character and give him a lightning weapon like that. It's not like I can't give a different character that weapon. Alright. I don't really know how I'm feeling about this sword. Kinda didn't start in a way that I would normally start it. I like to start with the handle to have something to build off of. Have proportions somewhat correctly. But I don't know, I started with the blade this time. Alright. Alright, the sword. I feel like I should add some wrapping or something around this. This just looks like it needs something. The handle. I don't know. But the blade is broken. We'll go ahead and add the tip of the blade right here. It would just be a pretty normal tip. I mean, well, yeah, let's cross that out. Let's draw the tip right here. We can actually give it a little bit more of a special tip, just so it's more nicely designed. Because of, well, the sword's a little more fancy, so we can make the tip a little more fancy, you know? Alright, and this is where we can have this. Alright, there we go. And we'll add some detail of the sharp part of the blade. Alright. There we go, and this is the sharp part of the blade. And the sharp part should go all the way up there. I don't know why I didn't make it go up there. And we'll also add some cracks in here. Because, you know, it would also be cracking on this side too. You know? Alright. But alright. Now we shade this sword. Let's go ahead and just color it in a bit. Color it in, color it in, color the sword in. Make it a bit darker, cause we can. Shade that in the same amount. Make the handle very dark. And then make the blade, or the sharp part, very light. And there we go. And we draw an arrow there. A horrible arrow. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. And I'm still gonna draw more blades on here. I'm just gonna stop recording. Well, there'll still be a time lapse, so enjoy that.